I've always been someone who's hated school. It's ironic because I'm spending a lot of my life trying to fix schools in general, but it wasn't so much that I hated learning. I just felt like school killed my interest in learning. And I started to try and unpack this question of what is the responsibility of K through 12 education in our country, and why is it falling so short for so many students in terms of preparing them not only for college but for work and for life. And it came to me as I spent years and years researching this topic that it was less so that college curriculum directly shaped high school curriculum, and much more so that college admissions tests directly shaped high school curriculum. Imbellus is trying to move beyond multiple choice tests with a set of simulation-based assessment items. Our goal as a company is to replace all of the standardized admissions tests, the SAT, ACT, SAT subject tests, and AP tests, with a universe of tests that measure a lot of the same underlying skills, but in a way that doesn't skew so heavily towards rich schools always doing better than poor schools. I don't think it's what our nation intended when we embraced these high-stakes standardized tests, but it's certainly what's developed is just this college as the true North Star for everyone has become the driver of inequality, not equality and opportunity. And I think if you want to ever return the K through 16 system to being an emblem of mobility for the country, you have to tackle this one line of code that has a lot of downward effects and a lot of upward effects. And that line of code is all of these standardized tests. We have to move them past multiple choice towards types of assessments that get at deeper thinking skills that honestly are much more representative of the type of thinking we all do in the world of work and in life. I think dropping out of Harvard was one of the best choices I ever made. I became really fascinated by a lot of the work I was doing outside of the classroom, and finally, just after 2 years there and taking lots of classes at the grad schools, felt like I was ready to move on and to focus on the company I lead now and a lot of the research behind it starting then. I think the number one thing I look for in myself and in others who I meet to kind of see do they have what it takes is just courage. Are you willing to be disliked in the short term to be right in the long term? Do you have strong conviction in terms of your underlying thesis for why your venture exists and why it's needed now? And if your answers to those questions aren't super strong, then you probably don't have the stomach for what it's going to take. Success for me is making the change I set out to create in the education system. So if I win in the next 10 to 15 years, which is kind of the timeline I'm on, then high schools should be free to teach in ways that are relevant, practical, and interesting for their students, and students should have a better shot at graduating into a decent quality of life.